You know, I didn't jazzercise, step aerobics, do Jane Fonda, Kalinetics, and Kathy Smith all those years to be sitting on my ass right now. Remember that old Clairol ad that said, 40 isn't fatal? Well, guess what? Neither is 50 or 60 or 70 for that matter. After decades of putting others first, now it's your time to pursue the activities that make your heart and spirit soar. You're nowhere near ready for the rocking chair. Come on, you're ready to rock it. You're ready for a reinvention. So I invite you to pour a glass of your favorite adult beverage and sit back and listen to conversations about how life should be after 50. Join me, Deanna Fenton, as we explore what lies ahead with the Reinvention Revolution through stories of inspiration, humor, and hope, with a sprinkling of how to just get shit done along the way. It's time to reinvent yourself and your life. Become part of the Reinvention Revolution today. Hi, everyone. This is Deanna Fenton, and I want to welcome you to my new podcast, The Reinvention Revolution. So I thought I would take this opportunity to introduce myself and tell you a little bit about what you might come to expect from this podcast and really who this is for. Because God knows we all have enough stuff that we have to do in our worlds today than waste our time listening to something that's not really relevant to us. So let me just ask you a question. Are you one of those people that after you turn 50 or 60, you start to think, well, it's all downhill from here? Do you get junk mail that comes in that kind of implies that your days are numbered? Do you really think that this is your golden years and you're going to put up your feet and just kind of wait for the end? Well, let me tell you, if you do, this ain't the podcast for you. So let me tell you how this all started. So I am an online entrepreneur. I have been an entrepreneur since around my mid-30s. I've had 3 successful businesses. The last one, I created websites, did online marketing, mostly for local businesses. But I started to feel like there was more that I had yet to accomplish, that there was more that I wanted to contribute. And I really started to look at who is the audience that I understand, that I know, and that I feel that I can help. And I will tell you what really triggered all this was because of my business. I am in a lot of Facebook groups that focus on online entrepreneurs. And I was in one group that was primarily female and all ages. I mean, I actually think there's someone in this group who's maybe 21 years old. And I also know there are some in there that are much closer. So let me first of all set the stage here. So I am a baby boomer. I was born in 1958. As I record this, I am 58 years old. Will be 59 in November. So I have this sense of myself, and I always joke about it. And in fact, I wrote a blog post about it where I said, how old do you think you are? When you look in the mirror and you see yourself, how old do you see yourself as? And I'd always said saw myself at probably about 35. Probably because I resonate with that was a good time in my life. But I also celebrate the fact that I have a lot of experience over my 58 years. A lot of good things, a lot of bad things, but a whole bunch of things that have made me who I am. And I also believe I have a lot more to contribute. So back to this blog post. This woman started out her blog post by saying, I just turned 45 and I just have this feeling that it's too late for me to be a success in my business. And I, honest to God, said, you've got to be, you know what, kidding me. And I was really encouraged to see a lot of women who responded, and women from the age of 50 to 65, and even some of the younger women contributed that their mothers had gone back to school in their 60s, had created businesses in their 50s and 60s. So I was gratified to see that kind of response from women that were saying, hell no, it's not too late. And so that's where I really came into thinking that I wanted to be available to motivate, support, and encourage women over 50, even if you've never started an online business, even if you've never started any business whatsoever, it's not too late. I mean, honestly, if you truly think it's too late, then it's too late for you. And that's just the way it is. But I strongly believe it's never too late to do what you love and to succeed. So, the Reinvention Revolution is dedicated to those women who over 50 are looking at reinventing themselves. Because let's be honest, a lot of times up until this age, we've been raising kids, maybe a husband or two or three. We've been raising pets, the roof, and some hell. Perhaps your identity has been wife, mom, employee, but now there's an empty or soon to be empty nest, and there's a whole slew of questions about what is your life going to be like as you enter, as it's called, the third chapter. Well, I hope that you're going to be doing something more than sitting in the rocking chair and watching Netflix. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's not what someone like me, and hopefully like you, want to be doing for the next 30 years, at least, right? It's so funny. And I'm going to give you an overview of some of the topics we're going to be talking about, or the topics I believe that we're going to be talking about in this podcast. And one of them is going to be about taking care of ourselves, our health and our wellness in our third chapter. And I recently had knee surgery, and I found out, because I did injure the knee working out, that I have some pretty significant cartilage damage in my left knee, right? And so when I was originally talking to the orthopedic surgeon, I looked at him and I said, well, you better tell me what I need to do about this, because I need these knees for another 40 years or so. And now, mind you, he was only, I can't remember, he was either a year older or younger than me. And he kind of gave me a funny look. And I said, you think I'm kidding? No, I need these knees. So you just tell me, what do I need to do to take care of this? So I look at it from that standpoint, that there's a lot of life left to be living. I plan on living it, and I hope that you are too. So if you are close to 50, because I see a lot of women contacting me that are like in their late 40s and they're already thinking these things through, anywhere over that age range, and perhaps you're looking at retirement. Maybe one of your identities has been you've been the employee who has been helping your boss build their business for most of your career. And now it's your turn. Maybe you've been downsized. I mean, we all know how difficult it is once you reach a certain age. You feel perhaps that your skills are no longer valued, or you've basically increased your value and that you are the first to go in some cases because you're too expensive for your boss. Or again, perhaps you've been a wife and mother, you've worked in your home, and now you're ready to explore the things that light you up and the desires that you have to contribute, whether it's contributing to society as a volunteer or as an entrepreneur. Those are the people that I want to talk to. Those are the ones that I want you to know that I want to provide the content that's going to help you. And most importantly, because, hey, even I need some inspiration these days. So we're going to talk to people that are going to inspire you. They're going to make you laugh. They're going to make you think. And hopefully, they're going to help you make some choices to live the life that you were meant to live, and that you are going to be the woman who says, I'm going to go for it, and the one who says, I can do it, because you can. And the best thing you can do today is decide how you want to spend the rest of your life and move forward from that place to make it happen. So join me for our weekly episodes of the Reinvention Revolution podcast. If you enjoyed this little introduction, I invite you to go over to iTunes and go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. And let your friends know. Subscribe, download the episodes, and I look forward to speaking with you every week going forward. Well, that's this week's episode of the Reinvention Revolution podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please head on over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. And don't forget to join us again next week for another episode. Thanks for listening.